Councilmember Spease.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So first, I think, just 0.7 acres seems to make a lot of sense in terms of size. But I want to challenge a little bit further. Because if we take the number 83, that was our point in time study, let's hope it never gets bigger. I think most of us are aware that that number is actually bigger, but let's go with the point in time count of 83. As we work to get closer to zero, because I hope that's our goal, right? Our goal is to get out of this work one day, right? Knowing, of course, that the hardest point is the last mile. If you talk to anybody in construction or putting something in, it's always the last mile, it's always the last bit that takes the longest to get there, right? So I could see a day when we're getting, say, from 83 to perhaps, I don't know, let's just use 60 or 40, right? Let's say we get to 40. It is entirely possible that the 40 that remain will not be responsive in any way, shape, or form to a shelter, right? These are folks who may have some place to go right now, but for their habits and for their condition, right, cannot live in homes with their families, unfortunately, okay? So my concern is that, and my desire is to make it as small as possible. Now, what is that number? I don't know. I think 2025 might be about that, right? But I want to challenge you to really think about that, because my concern then comes to putting a building in someone's neighborhood that eventually, hopefully soon, within a couple of years, right, wouldn't be occupied, right? Because that's when you're getting to about 60. So what I'm going to ask you to do is, I like the bubble diagrams. I'm not looking at the bubble diagrams and saying that those are hard-sided or anything like that. What I'm asking to do is to make sure that we plan or allow for a secondary use. Because I know we want to make it warm and welcoming and all of that stuff. I get it, right? These are human beings who deserve compassion. At the same time, making it far too comfortable is also a problem, okay? And I'm not suggesting it has to be Spartan, and I'm not suggesting they have to sleep on the floor. That would be completely wrong. I think about the way that we have it right now is it's comfortable. It's not great, but it's comfortable. So what I would ask, particularly when it comes to the living spaces, that those not be hard-sided. I understand that showers will likely need to be hard-sided in some form or fashion. Restrooms need to be hard-sided. But what I would like to see is relocatable or reconfigurable space, so that when we do get to this, hopefully soon, secondary use, which could be Boy Scouts meeting place, it could be for a number of the, we call it the nonprofits that are always begging us for space, right? So I just want to make sure we do that. There was something else that just escaped my memory. Proximity to police services is very important. And again, we have to be compassionate. Nobody's looking to frighten anyone. Nobody wants that. That said, proximity to the police station might have folks who want to hang around the facility and wait a turn to get in. It might make them move on because they know that, well, PD's next door, right? So I like generally where it's going. I would again challenge you to try to make the footprint as small as possible. I think there will always be some sort of need for a shelter, but we have to look for a secondary use, because in a few years, when hopefully, if we're doing our work right, we'll get to a point where, unfortunately, some will not come in.